Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Many of you know I'm a national speaker and trainer, and as a coach, I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking for your non-listening audience, presentation skills for the professional, and how to deal with the media and win. I also train in crisis communication because, friends, it's not if, but when. And my latest talk is the value of words, and I'm calling it From Gambling to Gaming. Many of my other presentations can be found on my website at debsofield.com. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I really hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I have a number of books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear, and my latest book, Perfecting Your Platform, are both on Amazon and Audible. My series, Encouragement for Your Life, is a compilation of these podcasts, and they are also available on Amazon.com. Just go to Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, and all my books will appear. I've got a great theme today, and it's this. Friend, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters. I'm Deb Sofield. Stay with me for these next few minutes. I'll be right back. All right, friends, it's not what happens to you. There's really no easy way to say it, and I'm not going to sugarcoat the truth that for many could be life-changing. So I'm going to hit you straight up and remind you that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You know this to be true, and yet it is so hard to let offenses, real and imagined, go without a fight, or at least a put you in your place amazingly smart aleck comment. I hate to say it, those are my favorite. Recently, I was speaking at a leadership luncheon, and I used a quote from Jim Rohn, who is considered by many to be one of America's foremost business philosophers, and I have to say, one of my favorite motivational speakers. He has a variation on this ancient quote by Epictetus when he says, "It's not what happens that determines the quality and quantity of your life." And the reason is because what happens to about everyone. The sun went down on all of us last night, a common event. And it's true that the same thing can happen to two different people, but one gets rich, the other stay poor. Why is that? Well, it's not because of what happens, but rather what you do about it. Let me say it again. It's not what happens. It's about what you do that makes the difference in how your life works out. What happens is about the same for everybody. It's what people do that makes the difference. Some people say, Deb, you don't know my disappointments. Come on, everyone's had disappointments. Disappointments are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. Now, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Let me do a quick pause. Some of today's message is from Jim Rohn's book, The Art of Exceptional Living. Great book, highly recommend it. So let me get back to the question that is asked. What are you going to do about it? And friend, that's always the question that most people want to hide from. They don't want to make a decision that might disrupt their life story of past hurts that resulted in current failures and mistakes. Why? Because admitting that they were a part of the problem by their poor reaction to the situation shifts the story to something, it's not quite as interesting. I hear from clients who want to give me a song and dance about how their disappointments are special. They have crafted elaborate stories in which they're always the victim, the injured party, or the wounded soul of some hurt comment or slight. And since that event, they've chosen not to be the same. Come on, seriously. You and I know people who can point to one event in their life, usually in the past, that they cling to. They cling to that event for every issue as a crutch or excuse of their failure in life. Let me give a caveat. I am not speaking about abuse. That is a completely different subject, and it needs to be dealt with by a professional who can offer a path of healing and wholeness so the injured party can move forward in their life. What I'm concerned about is how easily we react and blame others instead of admitting a mistake or at the very least, owning up to our part of the problem. And yes, others may have caused pain and made mistakes, but that story is old and over. So now why are you still clinging to your past instead of consciously choosing to react in a different manner and move forward? Friend, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Whether the incident was yesterday or years ago, you need to make a choice to change your reaction to the pain of your past, because really you're in control of the outcome of your life, and you always have been. I have to say, I had to laugh about a story of a guy who 50 years ago tells a story about his stepfather, because I guess the stepfather was making a cake and he wouldn't let him lick the beaters. He claims that he let his real son, I'm assuming he's adopted, have first dibs. And to this day, he holds that childhood hurt like it's a badge of honor to show that he was hurt and in his mind unloved as a child. Over licking the beaters? Yeah, 50 years ago. Friends, I got to tell you, I never want to hear that story again. I, for one, cannot fathom that an adult is so mentally feeble that they cannot and will not stop telling that story. And whether it's true or not, they steadfastly refuse to let it go so they can use it as a battering ram to hit anyone who criticizes them for their immature behavior here as a 60 or 70-year-old adult. Wow. Without a doubt you've heard, or you can tell a similar tale of woe and pain that your friends have told you, of things that happened to them in childhood. And to this day, some of them choose to react with that self-satisfying pain. I'm beginning to think that staying stuck in life because of the words or actions of others is becoming a national pastime of some of our friends and colleagues who cannot and will not let bygones be bygones, so they have something to point to when life doesn't reward them the way they want. Instead of accepting that others were not good or kind or loyal or whatever other issue that burns a hole in their soul and psyche that allows them to muddle through life with a chip on their shoulder, and instead of tossing those old emotional issues in the trash, holding on to them will be the undoing of our friends who just can't get over it, whatever it is. Their unwillingness to choose to react differently by forgiving and forgetting will dim their bright future to a muted light as they walk their life's path. My theme today is focused on a really hard truth. I get it. Our friends, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And the amazing thing is that every day you have an opportunity to choose to release the past and move into the future. That should be the best day of your life. It's true. It doesn't matter where you've been. It only matters where you are going. And the good news is you are the captain of the ship. So as Mark Twain once said, throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade wind in your sail, explore, dream, and discover. A few weeks ago, I wrote that you shouldn't be complaining about things you're not willing to change. And that is one of the biggest issues, which seems to never go away, is that blame list that we all have, and we carry it around, and occasionally we look at it and check it off. We all love to blame others for our problems because it appears to take away the responsibilities that we should be shouldering. I'm not sure where that type of thinking comes from, but it's not true. Blaming others does not fix a thing in your life. Please hear me. Blaming others does not fix a thing in your life. And friend, if you find yourself still hurt and angry by the actions of others, let me share the following story so you can see from a different perspective how it might be hurting you. Now, this is a hypothetical story, and it's from a gentleman named Danny Fine, and he says this. Two people go through the same event, minor traffic accidents perhaps. One emerges from his vehicle welding an iron bar, frothing at the mouth, screaming obscenities and threatening violence. The other calmly searches for a pen and paper to exchange insurance details. The psycho gets arrested for attempted assault and battery with a weapon, while Mr. Calm drives home with a small scratch on his car, kisses his wife and kids, and carries on with his happy life. Rather than learning a lesson from the experience and vowing to change his ways, the angry psycho gets even angrier at the cops, the judge, the legal system, the government, and the rest of the world for victimizing him. Following his arrest and conviction, he continues to stumble from one self-created and perpetuated drama to the next, never realizing that in the middle of all these catastrophes, he is a common denominator. He is the reason. He is the creator of the mayhem. He is the problem and the solution, should he choose to be. If he would only learn to manage the events of his life differently, really react differently, his life experience, his reality would change dramatically. But as long as he continues to do the same, react poorly, he will continue to produce the same negative, destructive outcomes. Let's be honest, we all know someone just like this. We do, as sad as it is to admit. But what concerns me more than us knowing this person is some listening to today's words. You have this type of person in your family. You might have a family member who is like this or in a relationship with this type of person. I wish I could tell you that they will change, but from my experience and time watching them act like this, I just don't hold out any hope for a changed heart, and I'm sad to say that. This type of person doesn't believe my theme for today because they choose to cling to and believe that they are not in control of their reactions. They choose to believe that life is not fair, whatever that means, and that others are on the outside who no longer know their name or care about them one iota controls their life. If they could just accept the truth that it's not what happens to them, but how they react to it that matters, it could heal their heart and mind and change their life forever. Instead, many refuse to change their life story because of their fragile existence. It would prove that they are a fraud. They would be seen as someone who is a faker or imposter. If they ever admitted that's how they reacted to what happened to them, that mattered the most. Listen, I know my theme is on the hard side today, but please hear me. Too many good people are choosing to live an angry, volatile, unstable life that will in time affect their health, their family, and their future. And the thing is this, it doesn't have to be that way if they'll just own up to life's responsibilities and learn to react well as anyone can to the situation instead of blaming others. The hard and deceptively simple truth is that, friend, it's not what happens to you. It's what you do about it that makes a difference in how your life will work out. I know, tough message today, but I've got to say, whether it's the political world or what I see online, I have never seen and read and heard so many unhinged people. I don't know what happened. You can be angry all day, but it's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for others. And at the end of the day, it means nothing when you're dead and gone. All right, come on, you can do better. I'll do better. Together we'll do better. And I hope you'll join me next week. Same time, same place for Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.